So let's turn to Nancy Phillips and the case famously known as the reporter and the hitman. I think there's a case where my students don't seem terribly sympathetic to the idea that keeping a promise to a source who is a murderer seems all that compelling, and that this is a potentially dangerous person, and that therefore she should have gone to the cops as soon as he confessed to her. Could you provide some of the background on that case and then talk about what the issues are?
Well, Nancy Phillips, who is a very good reporter, was following the case of the bludgeoning death of a rabbi's wife in Cherry Hill. That she, like police, suspected that the rabbi may have arranged the murder of his wife, but like the police, she did not have proof of it. But for 5 years, she followed this story, and one of the people she pursued was Lynn Jenoff, who, after she had interviewed him many times, told her off the record that he and another man had committed the crime, and that they were acting at the behest of the rabbi who had paid them to do it. She just did not report it immediately to authorities. For 4.5 months, she kept this to herself. She also told her editors, which was part of our policy at the Inquirer, that she would inform the editors about off-the-record conversations that might be pertinent, and this certainly was. But in consultation with her editors, they concurred with her feeling that A, it was off the record, and B, is that Jenoff had already been shown to be a notorious habitual liar. That if she reported to police, and he then, of course, would probably deny it, and maybe police would not do anything, then she would be in jeopardy for retribution from him. She then stepped out of her role as a reporter and actively lobbied him to go to authorities. She saw that as the only way really to solve the problem. She wanted authorities to know what she had, but she didn't feel that she could tell the authorities herself. So finally he relented, and then he also allowed her to tell the whole story. And she wrote a first-person story. She was now a participant in the story she had been covered, and explained everything from A to Z that had happened. And then she and her editor decided that she would never cover that story again. And I think all those decisions were right. But a lot of people feel, though, that as you mentioned, that she should have told authorities immediately. And I think that there's the dangers that I saw in that, quite aside from the fact that we want people to continue telling us things that they may or may not want to tell the police, that we are not an arm of police. We're not opposed to what police do, but we don't think it's our job to do their work for them, and that we should report on them independently. And part of that is being seen by everyone as our own people are acting independently. And I think the public is much better off because we're able to gather information like that. But it does present a situation like that. I think that there would have been an exception if he said, I'm going to kill the rabbi or somebody. But now we have a situation where a crime is about to be committed and she has information, and I think you got to go to the police then. And I have not asked Nancy about that. I feel confident that she would agree. And I would also refer to that in legally recognized confidential relationships, like a priest or a doctor, that they would be obliged to try to head off a crime that is likely to occur, as opposed to one that's already occurred, which applied in this case.
Although, what if he had just gone ahead and killed somebody else just during those 4 months? I mean, the outcry against the newspaper would have been fierce.
Probably, although he didn't say that. I mean, he didn't say, I'm going to kill some more people. Yeah. There was no reason for her to think that he was going to kill more people.
Although, if a guy would commit a murder for hire,
maybe take another job.
Why wouldn't he do it again? Why would that? It's not like it was a crime of passion.
Well, it's a fairly complex case, but he had a long-time relationship with the rabbi, and there's no evidence that she saw that he had a similar relationship with someone else who might want him to do a crime, but that's an eventuality. Fortunately, we didn't have to face, but I would agree that that we would have got a bad press if that had happened.
Yeah.